Belief, Mel.
And we're here with episode 162 of How Married Are You?
Okay, my name Belief, this is Eva, and we've been married 12 years. Live in California. We got four kids. Relationship scary, very necessary. Share our love or struggles. Ask how married are you? Every Tuesday and Thursday, shawty. If you're listening, you're in the wedding party. It's okay if you want to put your hands up. You got the questions, we got the answers.
It's chocolate baby story time.
Chocolate baby story time.
It's chocolate baby story time.
1, 2, 3, and...
What was that look about? Why are you looking at me like that?
Because I was doing the raps and you were eating the Altoids.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Do you remember? Was that last week or the week before?
One of them weeks. Yeah.
When you were chomping on Altoids?
Did you like that?
The payback's up.
Yeah.
Where's the...
All right, ready? Go ahead.
Yo.
Oh, man. It's been a rough one.
Uzi is tripping. I don't know what to do with that child. Oh, my gosh, she's tripping. So, I can't talk. You should have gone first.
You spit on me, you goofball.
You go first.
All right, so we went up to, we did a brand deal this weekend with a company called Hoka. Very comfortable shoes. Mm-hmm. And they're not sponsoring this, but they have comfortable shoes. We went up there, and they have nice clothing, too. Mm-hmm. I was like, this is like all-purpose gear. Like if you're running from, you know what I'm saying? Somebody's trying to get you into the world type stuff, or you just want pajamas to sleep in, this will work. So we went up there, and Theo had a bad attitude. Theo's attitude wasn't working for us. He looked like he didn't want to be there. He was acting like he didn't want to be there. And I was having a conversation with him, and Yvette came in for the win. She said, we show up for you all the time. We don't ask much. When we ask you to do something like this, all we're doing is we're just hanging out at the park. You're sitting down in the sun looking sad for no reason. Because you'd rather be home watching TV, or
he'd rather be at his hockey game
or whatever. And it's like the one time, you know how inconvenient it is to take you to play hockey and how much it costs for hockey gear?
And we be sitting out there in the sun. It's hot out there.
And it's like it doesn't all revolve around you, sir.
Yeah.
And he straightened up quick.
He did.
Got his act together and moved on. Your turn.
God. Are you going to restart it? Because I don't have it. My story's going to be longer than that. And you know how you be.
I always restart it.
Oh, you do?
All right, I'll start restart it.
All right, y'all. So, Uzi has been tripping. He has been, I don't know if I told y'all. Did I tell them he's been peeing in the trash can? I did. I told him, okay, so I got him the urinal. I got him a urinal. He's been using it. He's super excited about it, all the things. Well, yesterday, I don't know what was going on. I don't even know. Still don't know what happened, but I come out of my room and Uzi's wearing a different pair of pants than the pants he had on when I had previously saw him that morning. And so I'm like, Uzi, did you have an accident? Did you pee in your pants? Because Uzi's the type of kid, he's just have an accident and do something about it, but not tell you. So then you'll be smelling urine in his room or wherever, and you're like, what is this smell? And it's his peed on underwear, but he changes into whatever. So then I also noticed not only was he changed out of his pants, but he put on a diaper. He put on a, whatever those things are called in order. I don't know. So I'm asking him all kinds of questions. And then he starts telling me how he stepped in poop. And now I'm like, my antennas are up and I'm like, okay, what's happening? He has this whole elaborate story. You'll have to go on my Instagram to see what really happened because I did share that. But,
you shared that?
Huh?
You shared that video?
It's not out yet, but it's coming out.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
By the time this video, you just completely.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, it's good.
Okay.
Brandon did his thing. But by the time this podcast comes out, there will be footage on my Instagrams of what happened or what all the things that Uzi said. But of course, he pooped on the floor, stepped in it, and tried to blame the dog. It was crazy. Very long story short, by the end of it, I was like, you know what, Uzi, I know how to solve this problem because Uzi doesn't wipe his butt well when he goes big potty. I was like, I'm going to wipe your butt. And if it's the same color as this poop on the floor,
Oh my gosh.
we're going to have problems. And then I wipe his butt, and I was like, Uzi. He's like, let me see. And I was like, it's the same color. And he goes, Anaya, it's the same color. Like he's surprised. Like he didn't already know that was his poop. And then the best part about it is Glenry.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm like massaging him because I really want to choke him. But Glenry comes downstairs in the towards the tail end of all this drama, and he's like, "What did you say?" You're like, "Uzi, whose poop is this? This is your poop, Uzi." Da-da-da-da. And Uzi basically confesses, which I don't know what Glenn's presence did to make Uzi all of a sudden tell the truth. But then I was paying attention to one piece of turd. Meanwhile, Glenn was stepping in a whole other piece of. Did you step in it, or did you just get really close to it? Close. I turned around to look, and I saw a piece of poop right next to Glenn's foot, and I was like, heck no, this is too much." Yeah, and Glenn's like, "I gotta go to work." He leaves.
I came downstairs just like this. I was like, "Uzi, is this your poop? I can't believe you did this." I'll see y'all later. Bye.
Oh, I see what you were doing with the mic.
Yeah, I
was like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I just was like, I'll see y'all later. Y'all
he was like, bye.
Yeah.
And that's just how mother I am.
Yeah.
So we've got an episode, y'all. I think it's going to be a good one. I hope you guys enjoy it. Anyway, but we got this email from this beautiful young woman. I love it because she was like, Yvette, you mentioned you like to see people, da, 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 da. And so she...
I can't do this.
What is happening?
I can't do this.
Is it the glasses?
It's everything.
I'm going to go ahead and read... Or you haven't heard?
Read it.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, let me tell you guys what happened. Okay, so... I actually really don't know what happened, but the end result of what happened is that on this previous Thursday, we uploaded 2 episodes versus saving one for Thursday and then the next one for Tuesday. So it may seem like we skipped Tuesday, but technically y'all got Tuesday's episode. Tuesday's episode was supposed to be episode 161, but it got uploaded with episode 160. So rather than try to beat ourselves up and record extra episodes to make it seem like we're on time, y'all are getting this episode on Thursday, May 4th, and it's going to be great. So that's what kind of, just to give you a little insight to what happened, that's what happened. But anywho, let's get into this email. And, oops, oh my gosh, cancel. Sorry guys, I'm having technical difficulties. I'm going to read it. I don't know if she said, I don't care if you use my name. All right.
Let's not use her name.
I'm not going to use your name, but I understand. She said, "Dear Glenn and Yvette, first I want to start briefly by showing some love. Thank you for sharing your life with us. Seeing your life, transparency, growth, and more is inspiring. God bless. Thank you so much. I recently watched How Married Are You, episode 159, and during the conversation, Glenn discussed the idolization of love and relationships. I had a very similar conversation with God myself about not wanting to focus on this thing so much that I lose focus on him. Full transparency, I even had to stop watching your content for a while because it just made me at times sad and envious that I didn't have my family yet. I was in a bad space, but I am better and caught up now." You know, I find that interesting because I don't feel like that's something you understand or relate to.
What?
Taking a break from the content.
Watching it or making it?
What? No, I'm just saying in general, like certain people's content, maybe you can't consume it as much anymore because it evokes a feeling of like
You don't think
longing.
I deal with that?
I don't know if you do because I feel like whenever I've done it, you're like, oh.
No, that's not what happens.
What happens?
You turn off the whole social media platform and then you say, maybe we should just not do this anymore. Maybe you should find a new career.
That is not what I say. I say you should find a new career. I've said that?
Yes.
What?
Yes. You said we have till 2023. We should get off YouTube by then.
Oh, I did say that.
Yeah.
At one point. And then I got my senses back. He got triggered, y'all.
Yeah, man. What are you talking about?
Let's kiss.
Yo, yo, shout out to the fellas out there because fellas, see, look, now you're making her envious again. We just kissing on camera. She trying to watch. She don't want to see us all in love. She want to see us fighting.
She does want to see us in love.
Listen. Let me tell you something.
What?
Shout out to all the men out there, man. Men out there who, when your wife do something wrong, she got to embrace you because she don't know how to accept the fact that she's just wrong. You're just wrong right now. I do stop watching people's content.
Do you?
I don't really consume that much content consistently. I'm always like digging for new stuff. Like I'm not like only person I probably watch consistently is like E.T. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But I don't really watch anybody else's consistently except for a couple comedians I like too.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to like completely interrupt her email. I related to that because in full transparency, I too have to stop consuming certain people's content because it makes me feel some kind of way. Anywho, backstory. I am a 38-year-old single woman. I had my first relationship just a few years ago. It ended in a failed engagement. I ended it because I was not settled in my spirit about marrying this man. I believe I was more focused on getting married than what God wanted for me, and the Holy Spirit was not letting me go through with it. I sometimes wonder if I am making love and relationship an idol still because my desire for it is so strong. My question is, what were some things you did outside of prayer to help you focus more on God and not idolizing love and relationship? I want to believe I am not still in that place of idolization, but the fact is that I want it so badly. How can I differentiate my desire versus making it an idol? Is there a difference? I hope this makes sense. Thank you in advance for your time. God bless you and yours.
And she sent the picture.
She did. She's so cute.
Yeah, she's very cute.
She's definitely marriage material. I mean,
how do you know that?
Inside and out. I mean, you're right. Y'all, can we tell them what we're doing?
What are you talking about? What do you mean she's marriage material?
I meant she's beautiful. That's it. I know. But there's more to looks. There's more to marriage than the looks. As Love is Blind tells us.
Oh my God. We're like,
are we going to tell the people?
We're watching and Love is Blind for the first time, season 4.
Okay, so this isn't the first time. We watched the very first season, I think. I watched like the first 5 episodes and then I had enough. And then I skipped to the end. And I feel like this season is kind of leading me toward that as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's a lot. It's kind of just cringy at times.
Yeah. Anyway, you can't just... Okay, so we've been watching that show for the first time. It's very... Like, the people are still in the pods. Mm-hmm. And we watch it at, like, married folks' pace. It's just like, we'll watch on it.
When we're both together.
Fall asleep on it and be like, what happened last time? I don't know. So it was like 2 weeks we watched. Like
2 episodes.
Yeah.
I think we're only 2. I think we watched, like, you know how they always leave the cliffhangers?
Yeah.
So last night we watched episode 2 and then I was like, well.
Yeah, I think we're episode 4 now. Yeah, 3 or 4. So anyway, we've been watching it for like a month. I'll put it to you like that. So anyway, yeah, we've been watching that show and we realized that, you know, you could fall. I guess people can like each other just from hearing each other's voices, which is very interesting.
Yeah, but my point is, because I made that comment about her being beautiful and her being marriage material. And I do think there's more to looks than that for marriage. But when the one, I'm not going to say who, because just in case you didn't watch, I don't think this is spoiling anything. When the one guy proposed to the girl and it was time for them to actually see each other, I was like, what if they don't like the way the other person looks and they're like, oh, never mind. I think that would be so funny, but not funny. It would be really sad, but you know, anyway.
Yeah.
I'm probably making myself sound so bad right now. Anywho, in considering her email, one of the things that I felt like we should talk about is idolizing a relationship versus desiring a relationship.
Yeah.
Because you're saying, I don't know, I just feel like, I feel like that's something that is worth evaluating. I think we made some notes.
You made notes.
Don't try to put it on me. I talked to you about these notes before we...
You made notes. I didn't make the notes. What's wrong with you, man?
I need you to be on my team.
How am I not on your team?
Because we discussed this, and I said, are you in alignment?
I didn't hear you say, are you in alignment?
Oh, my God.
You just discussed it with me, and I'm just saying you made notes.
Well, what are your thoughts, sir?
Well, I don't want you to. I'm just saying that not. See, the thing is, we don't jive because I'm trying to make sure I don't take credit for what you've done.
I don't mind us being on the same. It's our podcast.
I know that, but I'm just saying, like, you made a really good thing here, and I don't want to take credit for it because why are you always so suspicious?
Whack.
It's not whack. I don't think it's whack. I'm gonna come up with something off the top. You know how I get down. I don't know what I'm gonna say until the sentence is done.
All right. In order to differentiate between desire and if it's idol, I think you need to consider a few things. You need to consider the importance. So an idol is something that you place above everything else, while a desire is something that you would like to have, but not necessarily at the expense of everything else. And so I think when you're thinking about whether or not your desire, because I don't know, maybe I feel like it's more a desire. I'm just going to assume the best and say that it's a desire. Is your desire to be married at the expense of everything else? And I don't think it is. I think, first of all, I want to say that I'm very proud of you for not going through with that marriage. A lot of people would get to the engagement and like all the hoopla and then be too prideful or too scared to like call it off because, oh, everybody knows we're engaged. And you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like a lot of people probably get to engagement and they realize, shoot, I'm not supposed to marry this person, but they still go through with it because they feel like they've gone too far already. And so for you to humble yourself enough to call off the engagement, I say round of applause. I think that was very wise. And I feel like that in and of itself speaks to the fact that maybe it's not so much an idol for you. It's just a really strong desire. So I think like you have to weigh the importance that it has in your life. And I think that I feel like you have a pretty good scope of things. I think you also need to consider how much control it has. So an idol often has control over you, while a desire is something that you have control over. If you find that your desire is controlling your thoughts and actions and you feel powerless to resist it, it may have become an idol. And I'm not sure if you have become powerless to resist it. Right? Are you going to chime in at all?
I am. I think that one thing about it when you said you want that over everything else, it's like some people do think they want that over everything else. Like they're willing to change their friend group, move. They're willing to do everything in order to keep the relationship. But just realize, like, whatever float, like my Shad K said this, right? He's a rapper, super dope. Whatever float your boat can capsize it, you know? Just what makes your, like...
Oh, whatever makes your boat float
can capsize
yes,
it too.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't live on just that one thing alone, right? Like, your relationship is not everything. And I think that even from a couple episodes ago, or the last episode we did, when the young lady was talking about how this relationship was everything and this was the first man to not abuse her, and is she just doomed to be a wife for her whole life, and then how does she deal with it? You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's not your identity, right? So your identity isn't in that one relationship. And that's why things like the premarital advantage is so important, which is our e-course that we sell for $250, not as a replacement for premarital counseling, but as just a supplemental resource for you as you have decided to maybe link up with someone, or you think you found someone who's valuable and someone you might want to be in a relationship. Also, if you're still looking for people and you're dating, but you don't know what questions to ask or how to figure out who's the right one, this e-course will help you. I honestly believe that. I think it's extremely valuable. We put a lot of time and effort into it. But these are not identity replacers. These are, things to help you become more holy, things that give you an opportunity to grow, They are ways to express love. There's ways to receive love, but they're not just one of those things altogether, right?
Yeah. But yeah, while a desire can come from a place of personal fulfillment and enjoyment, if you find that your desire is rooted in a need to prove yourself or gain acceptance from others, it may have become an idol. So it's a matter of evaluating your motivations for the relationship. I feel like, you can be single for the rest of your life, but it's not necessarily unbiblical to find someone you love and marry and have children and build a life together. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think it's anything wrong with desiring that. But I think when you come down to it, you need to really take a minute and take inventory of what is the motivating factor for that desire.
I agree.
And then lastly, perspective. I feel like an idol often leads to distorted perspectives, while a desire can be put in proper perspective. So if you find that your desire has become all-consuming and is affecting your ability to see things clearly or make sound judgments, it may have become an idol, which, again, you called off an engagement. So I feel like you are very much so capable of making clear judgments and being obedient to the prompting of the Holy Spirit. So yeah.
I wonder what it was about us that made her want to stop watching us, because I don't necessarily watch us and be like, I want that. Like, I want it for sure. Me, I want it. But I don't know if everyone else looks at us like that. Let us know in the comment section if that's true. Like, do y'all be watching this and being like, oh, yeah, man, that's what I want? Or y'all be like, you know what? That's real. Do you say things like, instead of saying, oh, my gosh, like, I just want to be that so much. Instead of saying stuff like that, are you saying stuff like, well, I get it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
I kind of wish I knew the ratio of single to married or in a relationship of our listeners. Like,
we should drop a poll somewhere.
Yeah, because I think that you're right. I think that there are married people who are probably like, man, I know exactly what y'all are talking about.
Yeah.
I know exactly how you feel. Yada, yada, yada. And then there are single people who are like taking notes. Like, probably, I feel like there are people, and I'm not making fun of you, but if it were me, I would be this person.
Yeah, because that's who you are.
I would take meticulous notes. I would probably have a journal just for how married are you, and like, okay. And I would categorize things versus like parenting, identity, career, like all the different conversations that we're having, and take notes there so that when something pops up, I'll be like, okay, let me see, this was episode.
Yeah.
But I can see it. Like, I feel like I can see why someone would desire what we have, because yes, we do experience hardships and life sucks sometimes. However, we have a good thing here, fool.
Yeah, I don't know if we show enough of like the fun.
The good.
Yeah, the fun stuff. We just be sitting here talking. And so, like, I guess you get to see some of that on Belief in Fatherhood. But I think it would be interesting to do here. We're still trying to figure out this event that we want to have. We want to do a one-night event.
It'll be in San Diego County, California, or like San Diego County.
Yeah.
And hopefully it'll be in July. I just have to solidify a venue.
Yeah. But once we find this place and we're going to do a one-night event, we don't know if I think we're going to have the whole wedding party there, married and single. That's what I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, like, even if you don't find, if you don't have a person, you still might find mentorship, right? Or someone to pour into, right? Or just having real conversations about love and life. And I think you can get that transparency with the wedding party. Not a lot of people are able to come and be, what we are. And we'll have a live How Married Are You podcast. That'd be sick. Yeah. So, yeah, I think that it's easy to idolize what you can't fully see.
Ain't that the truth? Can we say more?
Yeah, you say more.
I feel like when you said that, I immediately... Say it again.
It's easy to idolize things that you can't fully see.
Yeah.
Why are you looking like that?
I think, and I don't know if this is going to trigger anybody in this room, But I think that sometimes I idolize like
everything.
You better let me finish my thought before you chime in.
Go ahead.
You're gonna say something, get on my nerves. I feel like sometimes I idolize what I can't see in you.
Damn.
What? Yeah.
You idolize what you can't see in me?
Like your I'm having a hard time because I haven't formulated the thought. But the crazy thing is when he said it, I immediately thought of him in my life. But I don't know if this is the way I would
idolize
say it.
my
I don't know
life.
if I would say if I idolize it. However, what I would say is sometimes your role as father versus my role as mother, sometimes I'm like, I want to be father. I don't know how to talk about it right now, but I understand what I feel. Because it's like the mental load that comes with being the mother and the primary parent is so much. And I'm not even going to isolate it to fathers versus mothers, because I know that there are some fathers who take on that load. Like it just depends on who's the primary parent. Yeah, sometimes I just be like, I don't want to think about this. And I know what you're about to say. You about to say, you don't think I have a mental load that's heavy and I don't have to think about people and employees and myself and you and the kids? I know what you're going to say. You don't have to say it.
I get to respond. That's what I get to do. Imagine you being you, right? In the father's position, but me having access to everything that you do.
What?
You are you.
I am me.
Working full-time, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, home when you can, help out here and there. But your primary job is to make money and to steward the family or whatever, right? And then me being in your position, but you cannot control me. You can't tell me how to do anything.
I don't understand.
Like you can't, like how I load the dishwasher, how I feed the kids, how I teach the kids, how I clean the house.
So you're saying I'm still Yvette with my personality and my quirks, but I'm now the primary parent.
No, you're not.
I'm not the primary parent. I'm the primary breadwinner, and you're at home loading the dishwasher and educating our children.
I'm doing everything, and when you come home, you can't say anything about how I do it, or I would lose my mind.
Is that what I do?
No, I'm just saying. You know, but I mean, you could absolutely. Do you think you lose your mind when I give you critique?
Huh?
Do you think you lose your mind when I give you critique?
No.
Okay.
Do you think I do?
No. I definitely take critique better than you do, I think.
You do everything better than me.
No, I don't. I'm just saying critique is something that, like, you know, think about the first time I made you food and you said, this doesn't taste good. And the first time you made food,
I wouldn't say
and
that.
I said, this could use a little bit more salt. See, that's why I don't cook.
I don't believe that.
That's not true, Yvette.
I don't like to cook. Is that okay? Can we normalize mothers who don't like to cook, stay-at-home moms who don't like to cook? If you're with me, please be my friend in the comment section.
I don't mind. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying, how do you think you would do if you were me and you lost all control, but you would have to, you know what I'm saying? And then you walk in your bedroom.
His mic has been muted.
Listen, you walk in your bedroom and all of the room is catered to me. My side of the bed is bigger.
Your side
and
of the
then you
bed.
walk into your bed and you stub your toe on this foot wide little pathway you have.
Oh my goodness.
And you lay down in the bed.
This is getting too real.
Crumbs in your bed.
This hypothetical.
Because the kids were on your side of the bed.
This hypothetical is getting a little too low. I don't like it. Let's move on. So, what's happening?
Think about it.
I feel like we've gotten off track. No, I understand. I understand what you're saying. You
idolize what you don't.
Yes. I
fully understand. Mm-hmm. It's easy to look at all these other people and all these marriages and all this situation, but it's not easy work. Mm-mm. Right? Like, somebody tried to tell me that having a child is like having a dog. It is so stupid to say that. It is so dumb. And part of the reason why I even got a dog was just so I could prove that it's not the same. Right?
I didn't know that was part of the reason.
Part of the reason why I was kind of like, yeah, I bet you it's easier. It's way easier to take care of Lily than it is to take care of the kids. Way easier, especially at that age.
Even though she is starting to be my shadow.
Yeah. But, like, you just don't understand what you don't understand. And I think that's one thing about one of my strengths is that I don't think I know nothing. Like, I'm not like, if it was me, then I would da-da-da-da-da. I don't believe that because I have no idea what it's like to be you. I have no idea what it's like to be you, my mom, my dad, you know what I'm saying? My children, right? Even though I'll be looking at my children, they probably get it the hardest, especially the top two, Uriah and Theo. But I still think like, yo, I don't know what it's like on that side, so I'm going to try to sit here and make it work with what I got on this side. Because if I did get that other thing, that's another piece of stewardship. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's another thing I'd have to steward that I don't know if I'd be doing well. And that's one of the reasons why I was like, I do not want another child. I do not want a fifth child. It's so hard for me to manage my time with the four and then you know what I'm saying? It's like, I can't do that. And I think I would figure it out, but I don't really want to. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to figure it out. I want to do what I have. I want to be good at where I'm at. And so, I don't know. Besides prayer, like, it really just seems like you have to protect your thought life, and really be grateful. I was listening to a sermon, and the pastor was saying, like, like, glorify the Lord in all things, right? Like, not when it's convenient, when things are going right. You know what I'm saying? Like, glorify the Lord in all, and for all these reasons. It doesn't even matter. I'm just going to glorify the Lord wherever I'm at. And so I wish I would have known that more when it was just me and the boys as a stay-at-home dad before YouTube, I wish I would have did that more before we had kids, when we could afford to just go away, just you and I. I wish I would have enjoyed that more when I had time to really grow with my dad, when it was just me and him. Wish I would have asked him to go play tennis with me or something, or when my sister was alive. Like, I wish I would have did more with those times. And I think losing Brittany was like the last time I'm like, okay, I'm not going to invest in people that I don't value. You know what I'm saying? But the people I care about, like, I'm going hard for them. You know what I'm saying? And so I've been showing up. I think I've been showing up for people, trying to anyway. So it's just been really good. And, your season is yours for a reason.
Yeah. I feel like, too, a desire to do what's pleasing to God. It sounds like you have a desire to be in a relationship that will glorify the Lord. And so I will say that, because you asked, what did we do before we got married? I'm sorry, I can't find the question, the way you asked it. My question is, what were some things you did outside of prayer to help you focus more on God and not idolizing love and relationship? And so I will say that, like, I feel like there was a point in my life where there were certain men or young boys, young adult men, who I would see at a certain point. I'd be like, oh, that could potentially be my husband. You know what I mean? Like every new person that came around, I was like, oh, that could potentially be my husband. And I think that was one of the things that I had to stop doing, was like seeing someone as like a prospect or prospective spouse. And then the other thing that I feel like I did, because I feel like when Glenn came into my life, it was an interesting timing, because I felt like it was a point when I had finally been like, I don't even care no more about being in a relationship with a husband, with a man and whatever. I'm just going to do me and focus on the Lord. And I always envision an equilateral triangle. An equilateral triangle is a triangle with equal sides, all equal sides, just in case.
And angles.
All equal sides and all equal angles. But I visualize that. And if you look at the triangle, you're at the base and your spouse is at the base, and or the person you're interested in is at the base. And at the top of the triangle is God. And the closer you get to God, the closer you get to your spouse. And I feel like that imagery is very indicative of, like, I feel like us, because you just said that you were in a place where you were kind of like, I'm over it type vibes. Yeah. And I too was in a place where I was really pressing into my relationship with the Lord, reading my Bible, doing all the things. And I was content. And then Glenn comes along and I'm like, I'm supposed to be like chill right now. But he ended up being the guy for me. And so I feel like for me, that is personally what I did. I just kind of focused on the Lord and the things that were in my hand at that time, not trying to grab for this, that, and the other, because I feel like his timing is his timing. So why are you chuckling?
I was thinking about how I was thinking about the crumbs in the bed. And remember that one time when the kids were in Ascot and the kids were really little, and then Ryan was like, why is there sand in my bed? And then they were like, did Dad put sand in my bed? And then they were like, Mom, did Dad put sand in my bed? And she was like, no, your dad wouldn't do that. And you were like, wait a minute. Yes, he would. That's why I chuckled.
Why did you think of that while I was talking about what I was talking about?
Because we were talking about, remember the crumbs?
No, that was a long time ago, babe.
I know, babe, but I'm struggling.
You can't turn into me.
Yeah. You don't like that.
No, I don't.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm trying.
And get your life together.
I'm trying.
Are you?
I am really hard. I think the heat is on or something. I gotta go.
It is kind of warm.
It's warm in here. Okay, so how married are you, babe?
I'm so married that today when I went to go get lunch, I asked you what you wanted to eat, and I got you some food. Hey,
thank you so much. Thank you so much.
You came in here with food for yourself last night and didn't even think about me.
That's not true.
That's not true?
You don't like where I go to eat, and I always say, do you want something? You say, I don't like that place.
But you didn't ask.
And then you asked for a piece of what I had, and I didn't come in here with lunch. I DoorDashed it.
You still didn't DoorDash me nothing. You knew I was going to be here.
I didn't know you were going to be hungry. Anyway.
Because you didn't ask.
No, let's be real. You had therapy, got sad, was emotionally eating, and then you try to put that on me.
I was hungry.
You were emotionally eating.
I was hungry.
Yeah, you were desperate. You were.
No, I was hungry.
Okay, ask me.
Oh, how married are you?
I'm so married that the other night you left the tampons in the car.
Jeez.
And you asked me to go get them while I was already in bed.
Were you already in bed?
Yes. And I just was like, how dare you? But I knew you weren't getting up.
Did I have my pajamas on? Because you were probably in bed without your pajamas.
It doesn't matter. I still didn't want to go downstairs.
Thank you.
And then I went to go get them, and you threatened to bleed all over our sheets. If I didn't go get them, so I had to go get them because you threatened.
I'm so embarrassed.
It happened.
It happened. I don't want to be here.
This is what you want?
Babe. And that's just how married we are. Oh my gosh.